Hail, everybody. Welcome to the Legion of Memers Memestream Saturday edition. How we all doing today?
We're doing fantastic.
Awesome. Well, let's just get right into intros. Let's start off with our amazing guest, Epic Mike, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you guys for having me. I said I would come back eventually. So we did it now. No, this is to make up because I slept through you guys' anniversary stream. I'm going to tell on myself right now because I know you guys are too nice to do it. I had a time slot and everything set up, and then I went to bed at like 8 a.m. and I slept right through the time slot. I slept through all 5 alarms I had set and everything. And I was like, hey, well, I got to make it up to you guys. So let's hang out some other time. So I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. We always enjoy having you on, man. You're a hell of a time. And Extra Zero, what's going on, mate? I hear you have some big plans this week.
Some big plans this week. What do I have? What do I have big plans this week for?
Aren't you going to be on somebody's channel?
Not this week.
It's not this week. Next week.
At the end of the month. So yeah, at the end of the month, I'm going to be the guest on Side Scroller. So mark your calendars.
Oh, nice.
Friday, September 29th. I will be their guest, repping the Legion as producer. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome, man. I can't wait to see you on there. I'll probably be at work listening, cheering, quietly in the little corner. But
what I can't wait for, and it dawned on me, is like people are going to meme the shit out of me finally. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people cook up. But no, I'm doing good. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks. I've been doing go live for the project at my job. So I've been working 6 to 6 every day. And it blows. That's finally over. And I'm just ready to kick back, relax, and have some good conversations today.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And you're doing a lot of work for the Legion in the background, which I very much appreciate, man. Thank you for everything that you do. Horny Elf, mate. What do you do up to this week?
I've been up to a lot, actually. Not a lot of memeing. I haven't been memeing as much lately, but I have been putting a lot of work into my channel. I got a capture card. I got Streamlabs and OBS set up, Restream set up. So I did a Nintendo stream last night. I got a hookup so I could hook up my NES to the capture card. So I played some Super Dodgeball last night. It was really fun. And as you know, Rox, I got a new intro for my gaming streams. I think I did a pretty decent job with it. So, probably 2 hours after this stream goes off, I'm going to be playing some Subnautica. So check it out. Oh, and my sub count doubled in the last 48 hours.
Nice, dude. Nice. Awesome. Congratulations, man. CJP, man, what you been up to?
Other than fighting my internet, which I had to finally get a new modem for, it's been a good week. I had a flawed on my show Thursday, and he took over while my modem crapped out on me, which was pleasant. And then that was a fun conversation. We're actually going to try to set up a live producing stream where we actually try to make a track and some beats and him rap on it live on stream, which will be interesting to see how that goes. And then what else have I got going on? Not a whole lot. I did hit 400 subs on my channel finally. So
congratulations, dude.
That's a special sub track, which surprisingly did not get copyrighted. I was really nice about that.
That's how you you're living your best life when YouTube isn't copyrighting your stuff every 5 seconds.
It's just straight up a remix of a WCW entrance theme that the WWE still uses.
Oh snap! Okay.
I was shocked when that didn't get claimed.
Yeah.
And Kenzo, my man, what you been up to?
Just getting through a animated project that I'm working on for the Full Aussie, and I'm also hella stoked not this week, but next week we have the FNT meetup on Wednesday. So I'm going to be meeting some of the fellow content creators from around the UK and also the FNT crew, and I'm hella pumped. Can't wait.
And make sure when you're there to go say hi to Kenzo and True Pop Culture. Kenzo is the only homeless-looking redhead that will probably be there.
I'll be the one with the better-looking Justin Bieber-looking guy.
It's young Gandalf and Justin Bieber.
Thank you for calling me Young Extra Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss
I
an
can't
ass,
remember
extra
whether
zero. Be mean, be
you're
mean.
slightly younger than me or not. I
I'm
can't
old as shit, mate. I'm old as shit.
So let's give a special shout out to the chat first, because without them, we would not have a show. And I have noticed a massive uptick in members. So I just want to thank you guys very much. Your help is keeping the channel going. And the more help we get, the more stuff we can do, which I want to, get a table at some of these meetups or something like that and try and expand the Legion. But please, I know times are tough. If you cannot afford it, don't worry about it. Just drop a like, subscribe, meme, have fun.
Be a friend and tell a friend. Share the show.
Exactly. So let's give a shout out to chat right now. Z Highness says Meek. Sage Shells, Cell Shades says
Cell shade.
Just nailed
it's
it.
not even 8 minutes in. He dropped the Legion logo in there and says Happy Labor Day weekend. Thank you, man. I am going to be doing nothing.
Hail to
on
you,
Monday.
Cell
I am
Shade,
going
buddy.
to veg. Paul Hadouken says, Heidi ho there, fellow cowboys. Heidi ho there, mate. Hello, Memory Alphas. Oh, I like that. That's pretty good.
That's pretty.
Hail to
pretty
you,
sick one.
Clinton, man. Appreciate you, man.
We got our boy Jonathan
Davis has been a member for 1 month. This is the first member thing to pop up. So he was most likely the first one to become a member. So hail to you, Jonathan Davis, man. I appreciate you very much. Metastep says, hail memers. Hail to you, my dude. Paula Dugan says, hail, y'all. Hail. Oh, God.
Janelle Rema.
I'm wondering if someone needs to make a sock account just to mess with you.
No Green Rocks can't read account. It says, hail Legion. Hail to you, and I apologize.
I feel like you and
butchering your
Stuttering
name.
Craig need to have a reading competition, like the opposite of a spelling bee, where you guys just try and read things. And
And Moza can judge it.
yeah, Moza can judge it.
JS Pena says, hello. Hail to you, my dude.
We got 2 more in here.
Travis Keys coming in. What, hand pink waving?
I think it's just the pink hand waving that,
Hail to you, my dude.
Hey, Trav.
Oculus says, hello, boys.
Discount
Yeah,
Gundam.
boys. Out of context, Flawed says, guess what? I'm gay. Ricky Day, oh God, that's gonna be clipped. Ricky Dane says, "Don't forget that Drunk 3PO's post that this is Drunk 3PO's post birthday month. Yes, normally after your birthday, there's a couple 11 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep, that's how
Well, Trav responded back. Me too. Weird.
Trav only went over my head for a second there. But yeah, I got it. Appreciate you, man. I love you, mate. So before we get let's go right into the content. Extra Zero, you want to pull up any one of the articles on there?
Yeah, let's see, where would be a good place to start?
I mean,
you guys wanna talk
Epic
some-
Mike, have you seen One Piece yet?
No.
The okay.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I binged through this.
I haven't cartoon, not the cartoon, the anime yet. So I'm way behind on all of it. When somebody was like, "There's 1,000 episodes," I was like, "That's means I'll never start it." Congratulations.
You could
Lie to me and-
you could easily do that in 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, if I just sit down and just if I start now, I can get there eventually. Yeah. No, it was one of those things, but I mean, I'm curious to see what other people think about it because I haven't heard a lot of people's thoughts that I trust. Obviously, some people are shilling for it right away, and they're like, "It's amazing," but it's Netflix, so yeah.
I mean, I think I'm the only one on the panel who's seen it, so like the opinions kind of be skewed a little bit. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. There were a lot of liberties that were taken, but the guy who played Zoro is freaking fire, man. I thought it
Nice.
was very good. I thought there was a lot to be left for the CG. Some of the
Mhm.
hits, you know, in anime, when you have like a lot of the hits, like you can kind of see the wind and everything, like blow, like you can see the power. There was not a lot of oomph in the punches and
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
kicks and.
Hmm.
But all in all, it wasn't horrible. They did take a few liberties, but you know, it's Netflix, so
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's true.
But go ahead, Extra Zero. Bring up whatever you
Yeah.
think is best.
So let's kick off with this one. Now I haven't watched this video yet, so I don't really have a point of reference. Though I've probably seen a lot of the things that compile the. Oh god!
So, Shade, you're so mean.
All we need now is Mr. Big Wig Majig's full name here, and no Green Rocks is done.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there is a member of this community who's making some really cool videos, and I wanted to kind of give him the spotlight for this. Nerd Wars is making some amazing videos based around the Fellowship. And you can go to his Twitter and check it out. It's a 35-minute video, and I didn't reach out to him to play any of it. So
I gotta get a
Don't
better
start-
system for my notes.
Yeah, don't start showing us your tabs, man. Come on. bro.
It's the show notes, my timestamps. I keep them there.
Gotcha.
So, little. Don't look behind the
Curtain.
the curtain. Yeah.
But I wanted to give a shout out to the members in the community who you know create, because a 35-minute video, especially edited, is going to take forever. So I did reach out to him and say, hey man, I like your stuff, and you know the fact that you've taken that much time to make that video is really impressive. So I wanted to give a shout out to Nerd Wars. Go check out his channel. The videos are pretty long, so you know, absorb it and kind of have a little bit of respect for the effort it took to make it, because you know when people make those kind of videos, I'm absolutely blown away by that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Extra Zero, was there another one on there?
Yeah. Well, there's more. We got a lot more stories to talk about, but I'm trying to.
Yeah,
pick,
what was the other one in the community?
Let's go back to that. That was the David Attenborough one where we have.
Oh yes, bring that
Yeah.
one up. I thought that
So,
was
here. Let me get sound.
hilarious.
For this
Have
one,
you guys
'cause
seen this?
Mm-mm.
No,
I have
So
not.
it's
David Attenborough,
Critical's Drinker's Dog, narrated by David Attenborough.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
All right, we've got our volume. Let's make sure we have volume on. And this is the Critical Doggo.
This elegant specimen of greyhound, luxuriating in well-earned retirement, proposes to enjoy a bone repast that shall last the best part of a day. Its owner, a semi-respectable Scottish YouTube celebrity, languishes nearby, face down in his own ghastly vomit. Out from a night of drinking, in whichever lowly establishments have not banned him from the premises on account of his volatile temper and ceaseless fisticuffs with more subdued patrons who happen to like contemporary Star Wars content. Nearby, as the endearing greyhound gnaws at its prized bone, a wanton, disreputable hussy named Tatiana roams about, digging in the pockets of the drinker's clothing, looking for crumpled notes and coins, despairing of her
Do me a favor, extra pause it.
and pining to be
I want these videos to get the full views. So if you can go, do me a favor, make it smaller so they can see the guy who made it. Go to his
So
Twitter.
this is from, and I put his the link to this post or this tweet right in the chat. So if you're watching this here,
Hey, is that an AI voice, or is that the person who made this doing it?
That's AI. I would say it
has
sounds
to be.
too
I
much
think it has
like
to be AI.
Attenborough to be an impersonation.
there's not enough inflection for it to be Attenborough, and I know Attenborough kind of had it like a very even keeled way of speaking, but
Mhm.
you know.
But yeah, I'd say it was AI rather than impersonation, though. You know,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you're a member of this community and you're making things like this or anything interesting, don't be afraid to tag the Legion of Memers in there. Because I'm going to try and give more spotlights to people in the community who are creating. Because I think at this time in particular, we should be putting spotlights on creators who are creating content that we like and we enjoy. Because Hollywood is going to be lacking of content. So let's enjoy the content in this community instead. Much like Epic Mike, who's working on the Epic verse. So, Mike, do you want to kind of promote the Epic verse a little bit and let people know, what's going on? If you have any inside things that we can know about, anything like that?
I didn't have time to prep anything this time. I was going to try to, but we're working on a bunch of stuff right now. But yeah, man. I mean, big thing is go check out epicverse.tv. This is the early version of the site. Just kind of giving people a taste of what we got going on. We actually recently updated it because normally there's a bunch of coming soon, but we updated it with the name of some of the projects we're working on. And yeah, we are just working really hard to try to get things done, get things to a point where they're where we want them to be, and we're at the best place that we can get them for now. And hopefully maybe a couple months. I keep telling everybody a couple months, but there's always a couple more months that we can work on stuff. But yeah, I got a big project coming up here in October. We got one big one in September we're working on. We got a big one in October we're working on. Hopefully that'll be like some of the last big projects we have before we start talking about what launching is going to look like. So yeah, I don't know. We're really excited, man. I mean, it's a lot of work. We're ramping up. We went from like beginning of the year we were busy to like being really busy and realizing like how kind of ramping up how production works and stuff like that. It's been a learning experience, man. That's for sure. I mean, it's funny because we've recently been getting like the feedback from like people that are like haters and stuff that they're like, oh man, these guys' stuff better be perfect if they're criticizing Hollywood. And I'm like, well, if I had $1 million or even $10 million, I can make a better movie than anything being made in Hollywood today, because it's not that difficult. Like, but you're gonna criticize and critique independent creators for making comic books and making movies and making music and stuff like that, and you're going to hold them to more scrutiny than you do a company that makes $18 billion a year and just craps out 8 or 9 10 films a year. Like, okay, cool, man. It just kind of shows where people's priorities are at. It's kind of sad actually, but yeah, man, I'm really excited for what we're working on. I'm really excited to show you guys what we got going on, but I'm more excited to get the ball rolling on Epicverse and officially launch so that we can, show you guys our hope for the future and what that's going to look like. Cause we definitely have some big plans, man. So
have you seen any like recent uptick in people reaching out to you who are creatives that want to be part of the Epicverse because of all this Hollywood stuff kind of crashing? Have you seen anybody from that industry kind of try and come over to you guys?
Not a few people. I can't really say a whole
of course,
lot.
Don't name names or anything.
But because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, because obviously the industry is awful. We have noticed that there's definitely like a weird tension right now with people that are in the industry going like, man, do I jump ship or do I try to stay? Do I try to figure things out? And we've definitely seen some people reach out to us in the industry and say, hey, like, what are you guys working on? Can we help you, or can you help us and stuff? Unfortunately, the hard part is like when that industry has the hooks in you, it's really hard to get it out. It's kind of like that in any industry, but specifically like once you start working, in these unions and stuff, it's really hard to get out of these unions. They have union fees that you have to pay to get out of them, and all these things. You might be under contract. That means you have to break contract, things like that, And then also they don't take kindly to you walking away. So maybe you get an independent project, but then if they don't like it or they disagree with it, you might not work again. And then what? So it's like we get talks behind the scenes, but a lot of it is like, well, we can't really like do anything right now because I just don't know. But definitely there's definitely been an uptick because there's a lot of sense that that the strike and what's going on with the writer strike and stuff is actually going to affect entertainment in a big way. I mean, these studios are already struggling, we know that, but to see them kind of, see some of the bigger, people like Bob Iger just straight up say, we're just going to let our writers go broke. We'll let them go broke and lose their homes and stuff like that before we negotiate and stuff. Says a lot. And we're watching these big projects and things that have been in production for years getting canceled and getting, it definitely spells some kind of trouble for the industry. So
it seems to me that the studios are using this as an opportunity to purge.
Yeah.
Because they have been bloated for years, and they waste money probably worse than the government does.
Yeah. Yep. 100%, man. You're dead on with it, man. It's crazy how bloated and overly expensive everything is. And we talked about this on Tuesday night's main event, man. But like you go on some of these sets and stuff, and let's say like no Green Rock sneaks on the set of like the new Avengers movie, and he knocks over a coffee cup. He, like an actor, Benedict Cumberbatch could be standing right next to him. Benedict can't pick up that coffee cup. It's somebody else's job to pick up that coffee cup. And if
now even the coffee cup would be a CG object.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, yeah,
it'll just be a green screen object that, but like there's so many, like there's a job for everything, which to an extent does help. It's important to have people that have very specific jobs to do specific things, but it's like, imagine on this show, every single panelist has their own assistant that is doing their own production stuff behind the scenes. After a while, it just gets so complicated and bloated, and you're trying to figure out who's doing what and all that stuff. That kind of stuff happens on movie sets all the time, and it's why independent movies they have such low overhead now, and why studios like A24 can make a film and maybe it doesn't do super well, but they can do other films and not have to go bankrupt because they do a $10 million movie and maybe they only make $8 million. Okay, well, we lost $2 million. $2 million sucks to lose. Nobody wants to lose that. But then the next movie maybe makes $80 million, so it's that kind of a thing. When you have that low overhead, you can profit maybe not having a project do as well as you wanted it to. You can keep going, whereas these studios are losing billions of dollars. They're losing hand over fist, like they're just bleeding dry, like right in front of everybody, and they think that that's normal or that's like totally okay to do. It's weird. It's a weird way to look at things.
If you've noticed, the most creative times for Hollywood is when independent creators rise. I mean, look at the era when Spielberg came around. That was iconic. Most of the movies from that era were iconic.
Yeah.
But in the industry goes through those phases where you have independent and then it goes back to corporate and then independent. And usually when the independents rise, you see great movies and films.
Yeah.
I think to add to that, one of the things that, I was somebody that really enjoyed film for a long period of my life. And I used to watch a lot of the behind the scenes footage and commentary tracks. And you learn so much about some of the most iconic scenes in movie and TV were made around limitations. And it's just like when you can plow through everything with like, these VFX studios, and the people in the VFX studios are just, they're not like Stan Winston. They're not passionate about it. They're not artists. They're people that went to school. They may be good enough at what they do, but they're not trying to drive the medium forward. And because of that, there's no like innovation breeds creativity. And that's one of the pieces that's missing from my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
Way is, now that everyone has unlimited tracks and unlimited ways to make music, but some of the best music was made when they had 4-8 tracks and that's it. That's all they had to work with.
Yeah.
Yep. I was listening to Flaw talk about that the other night, and he, in his personal opinion, thinks that the best music he made, or some of the best tracks that he made, was in a bedroom with 4 people in it.
Yeah,
a hot ass bedroom with 4 people in it. And he's like, that was like what I was driving there. I think is what he said.
Yeah, man. Well, it's one of those things like back in the day, or when you don't have a lot of resources, you make do with what you got, and then you really have to elevate yourself to a level of like, not necessarily perfection, but to a standard that I can't make a lot of mistakes because I don't have the room and time for it, so you got to really put it out there and do your best. Because, like you were just saying, with like 8 tracks and stuff, man, you get like 1 or 2 shots at that. They can't stop and cut part of your good performance out and put it with another performance and stuff. It's like, go ahead.
Like if you look at Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah,
the version that we have, if they had done any more overdubs, that tape would have snapped and they would have lost that song.
it's crazy.
Forever.
That's so crazy.
Think about
Yeah.
that. They overdubbed that as much as they possibly could before that tape broke.
Wow. Yeah. That's nuts, man. But it's once again, these things are timeless. Like they built things that are timeless and stuff. And I think that's something that's being lost too in the commercialism is they're not interested in making timeless things. And this didn't start with Bob Iger. This was something when what's the guy's name before him? Michael Eisner was in charge. He said, our goal is not to make great art. Our goal is to make money. And if we happen to make good art along the way, then cool. But really the goal is to make money. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. You want to make money, but you want to make money so that you can make more good stuff. You want money so that, and resources so you can make the things that you want to make at a skill level that you want to make them, not so that you can just make money. Because if that's your only goal, then yeah, you have no interest in making good art anymore.
I have a hot take.
Go ahead.
All right, so my hot take is 2008. I love South Park. I love the older South Park, but that About Last Night episode in 2008, they made 2 episodes. They made one if Obama won and one if who ran against him in 2008?
Mitt Romney.
McCain.
Yeah, McCain. Yeah.
Oh, McCain. Yeah.
Yeah, it was McCain. Romney was 2012,
Oh,
and
yeah.
since 2008, like everybody was like, "Oh my God, they did this." They topical. After that, you got so much of this. We have to make something that resonates. We have to make something that's faster than the news. We have to make something that's topical and reflects the current year. I'm not necessarily blaming South Park, but I'm blaming the success of that episode that kind of, from my observation, really shifted the way entertainment was going, where they wanted everything to be like up to the moment and relative. But the problem is, as you're talking about, that stuff isn't timeless, and that stuff fades into obscurity. And sometimes you go back and watch an old episode of a TV show, like every now and then I'll watch a Simpsons episode, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And
you're capturing the fads and not timeless entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. We're getting so much stuff that was capturing the fads that entertainment itself is like what's popular is just a fad. It's not part of the cultural lexicon anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a zeitgeist in like creativity. It's weird, like it happens a lot. Like you'll come up with an idea, or you have like a thing you want to do, and you're like, ooh, that's a great idea. Oh, I bet not a lot of people are doing that idea. And then you actually find out like a lot of people almost all at the same time had like a similar idea. It happens a lot, but that zeitgeist, is important, because when you catch that, you can put out a story or a thing that really resonates with people. But when you're trying to be topical, then like you said, it doesn't age well. There are things that are a product of their times that have aged extremely well. Star Trek, even though it was trying to talk about the future, it was also a product of its time. The original Star Trek, Next Generation, even Voyager, Deep Space Nine, they're all products of their time and things that were going on, the things that had happened, but they were commenting in a way that wasn't about the moments themselves, but about the ideas and the themes of that time, which it's like that kind of thing makes it timeless, because you can go back and watch those, and the effects sometimes do not hold up well. That's the kind of stuff, but the stories mean something to you. They still can resonate. You can still find something in there that means something to you about,
there's nuance.
There's a lot of nuance and stuff. And that's definitely been lost. And I can see where you're coming from with South Park, because South Park is very topical, but
now it is, but prior it really wasn't.
Yeah. But like that openly mocking everyone that they kind of engage with kind of is their own thing. They were the ones they were one of the only ones that reached their level. Yeah. They were, because they were so quick at turning over, because they can make the episodes so quickly. Whereas like normal stuff, they have to shoot it and they have to, write it and put it together, shoot it, produce it, edit. And sometimes those episodes are old hat by the time they come around and stuff. And then they're already irrelevant by the time they get released. Yeah.
Futurama is a great example of that. The new episodes, because all the jokes sound like they were written 3 years ago.
Wow.
Stuff that happened 3 years ago.
Wow. Yeah,
Like,
I haven't watched any of the new episodes.
Yeah, neither
I've
have
seen
I.
a few. I've seen a few.
Yeah, I haven't watched South Park. I don't even have terrestrial TV anymore, but I haven't watched South Park in a while. I think their seasons 9, 10, and 11 were their peak.
Yeah,
It was some of the best South Park I've seen. I think
Yeah.
that was like the late 2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like prior to that shift, Saturday Night Live was the place where if you wanted like something that was topical, you would go there. But the lesson nobody learned was that the most popular and memorable SNL sketches have nothing to do with its current year.
Yeah,
Oh, for
100%. Yeah.
So before we get into the next topic, let's just go through chat real quick and give a shout out to Paul Hadouken for his 1 month member chat. 18 naked cowboys in the shower at
18
Ram Ranch.
naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch. Oh, you
Oh,
got to say it like
goodness.
that.
Hail, my dude, hail.
And Wookie B Bad chimed in with this one. I previously brought it up, but he's got a point here.
Yeah.
Going back to what we were talking about with CG effects and improvisation in effects and
Yeah, what I think? I think a lot of us in the Legion have that pride with what we make, and you can actually see it. It's not like we're doing it to get owns. We're doing it because we enjoy it and we have that heart in what we put in it, and from Kenzo's art to picture memes to face replacement memes, you can see the amount of care that we put into it. Even when it is low effort, you can still see it,
and it's all for fun as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know when I do some of the video memes, I really have to work around the limitations of cap cuts.
And you know when you're giggling yourself when you're making it, it's a good one.
Sometimes the low effort memes are some of the best.
That's true.
Yes.
Some of the ones that have really resonated were the ones I thought wouldn't, and then the ones I put a lot of work into, they're like,
And I think the fact that people are doing it day in and day out really makes a difference. And I love to see it, that people are actually putting in the work and the effort, even if it's a low quality meme. I can see the effort that you put into it, and I really appreciate that. And I think the creators that we're all covering also appreciate it. That kind of leads me to if you know of any creators that you want to us to cover or you to cover, don't forget to make a meme, tag them, tag the Legion, and we'll keep an eye out for their content. I'm unfortunately, or fortunately, I have a full-time job, but unfortunately, it kind of limits what I can cover. But hopefully, one day, I'll be able to cover more content. And that's the thing about the Legion. There are so many of us that somebody's covering something at one point or another. It's never just complete silence. Extra Zero, can you bring up the article about the unionization of those artists? So
get that up right here and now. And yeah, this one is with our pals at Disney.
So Epic Mike, since you kind of are work in this kind of industry, did you see that the Disney VFX workers are working to unionize?
I did see that.
And what do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. I think unions are useful when you have giant corporations that don't give a shit about their employees and want to misuse them and mistreat them, because you don't really have a lot of power when they're the guys they're one of the only people that are doing things consistently or keeping people consistently busy. I'm not anti-union, but I think that a lot of what unions do could be solved if people just talk to each other. Yes. And like corporation, like it's easy to look and go, well, the CEO makes this much money a year and we're not making that kind of money. Why doesn't he that's not as relevant as why is this company breaking like record profit numbers or reaching these massive numbers that they want to reach and their employees aren't getting paid as well. Well, as a company grows, so should the pay of its employees. You get to a point where everybody wants to work for your company. That brings out the best people, and so for them to run their people ragged, I kind of think that a union was inevitable. Whereas it wasn't necessary before this, until we started hearing all these reports of Disney running these companies into the ground with how hard they were working these guys. So
I think it comes up to like capitalism versus corporatism. I'm a big capitalist, but I don't like corporatism. And one of the things that I see all the time is you get the larger companies that run their business that way. They can burn through people because they don't view them as people; they view them as resources. And people have, and I think this is part of corporatism, where they've convinced the populace to blame capitalism for all their woes. Oh, this is a fault of capitalism. No, it's a fault that you don't understand your value as a worker, and you don't have you were never taught that the company that you work for doesn't own your time. You sell your time to the company. And if the company isn't giving you what you're worth or what you think you're worth or what the market thinks you're worth, you should be able to sell your time elsewhere. So the workers, and I don't have a good opinion on unions because I've worked for them in the past, and I've seen a lot of corruption, and the people that work in the unions, they're trying to create longevity for themselves and trying to create wealth for themselves. So the very problem that they claim to be the solution to, they end up being part of that problem themselves. I'm sure, somebody will take that out of context, but whatever. I just think we need to educate workers that the company doesn't own your time to go elsewhere, and really empower people to understand and appreciate their own worth, regardless of what industry you're in.
Well said. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think it's it's kind of sad. I also like the distinction between capitalism and corporatism, because there is a big difference. Capitalism works, and being able to make your own thing and sell your own stuff and that kind of stuff is great, but a lot of these corporations don't follow any of the laws that they set. Rules for
they're about manipulating the law too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They spend more on lobbyists than they do on their own employees.
100%. Yep, 100%.
That marriage of government and corporations, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
And like, if you work these VFX artists ragged, they're gonna. I mean, you can see that the work is good. They just don't have enough time to put in the effort to make it better than it should be. I don't know if you guys saw the Corridor Crew video, but they covered the Flash movie and shredded the thing. I don't know how many of you watched it, but I watched it just out of curiosity. It wasn't great. It was. I finished it being like, why did I waste my time on it? But at the end of the day, I'm kind of glad I saw it, because I saw how bad the effects were, and it was like there were certain parts where they were okay, but some of them were just so bad.
Well, I guess I have two things I want to ask in the conversation. One, did anybody see that video where somebody took the symbiote scene from Spider-Man 3, which I think that's kind of I don't think it's the best entry. I don't think it's a good entry, but they were talking about how well the CG in that held up, and that was a movie that came out 16 years ago. With that, what do you guys think is going to happen? I mean, Disney has been in a decline from a VFX standpoint, and arguments can be made as to why that's happening. But if these workers unionize, do you think it's going to be a net negative for what they're putting out in terms of content?
I think it's gonna make their jobs. They're going to be able to do their jobs well, but it might stifle the creativity a little bit. And that's the problem. This is why I'm always encouraging people in this community to learn the things they want to learn, so more creativity can be out there. And maybe one day you could replace, these different companies or these different people,
Yep.
I'm really hopeful that this community takes the initiative in this time to learn what they can and start putting out more things. It doesn't have to be geared towards anybody, but just create and enjoy things.
Well, you got to start somewhere, man. And like you said, you learn what you learn. That's what I was saying earlier too, about like making movies and stuff. The attitude, well, if you criticize things, and if you say you could do better than somebody, then your thing better be perfect. Well, no, it's just, there's the beautiful thing about communities like we're in, you know, which is it's a big community, is like we give each other grace to figure things out and grow. Like, yes, we want to do our best job. You should always put your best foot forward. You should always try your hardest and do your best. Like that goes without saying. But the fact is, like, you release a new comic, or you release a new story, or you release a short film, or you're just an editor, or you start your YouTube channel. Maybe you have a crappy mic, maybe you have a crappy camera. That stuff isn't as important as what are you doing? What's the intent behind what you're doing? What does the audience feel about what you're doing? You know, there are a lot of movies that have terrible, you know, VFX that haven't held up, but are still beloved by people. There are movies that have dated music and dated settings and all that stuff that people still love and are universally praised because of the content or how it made people feel, you know, things like that. There are, you know, I mean, all YouTubers will say, "Oh man, the first videos I did were terrible." Like, and I wasn't a fan of them, but I got better over time. You got to start somewhere, you know. And that's the thing. The audience isn't going, "Oh man, your stuff wasn't very good in the beginning. I don't want to support you." It's like, you know what? You all start somewhere. And the thing is, like, none of us are being supported by massive corporations that can just give us all the money that they want to give us. You know, or like I'll give them all the money that they give everybody else, or they give themselves a lot of times. It's like, you know, so we're starting out with what we have, and then that grows over time, and you see bigger dividends, and you can do more, and you get more trust of the audience and stuff. Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. And like you said, man, that's the thing. It never has to be. It doesn't have to be making movies. It doesn't have to be writing a comic book. It doesn't have to be writing or creating anything. Sometimes it could be just being an editor. Sometimes working on music. Find a passion. I know people that work on all kinds of things behind the scenes, and those things are all useful. I was on the channel recently, Politically Correct Knitters, and those guys are awesome, and they do knitting. I don't know how to do knitting. I couldn't do that. I don't have the patience for that, first of all. And I'm pretty sure I don't have the finger coordination to do it either. But like, it's awesome because they make stuff for people, you know.
Yeah,
and
they've made stuff for me too.
Look at that. And
Yeah,
that's
there's so
awesome.
much
I can't
stuff
do
out
that.
there on YouTube. I found myself watching some stuff on YouTube, you know, from some content creators I never thought I would watch. You know, like some travel channels, camping channels, guys going around the UK doing eating challenges. And some of these people have got like 10 million subscribers, 15 million subscribers on their channels. And like you said, it has been fun with some of them where I sort of started to watch their early videos, and you can see the progression where they've, you know, got more comfortable in front of the camera, or their camera quality's improved. They've got better mics, and it is good as a creator to see the growth of these channels, man.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
everybody has developed a talent or a passion because of something that they saw on social media in the past.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have never thought in my life I'd be an aspiring pitmaster. It's one of my side.
I would have never started animating if I didn't watch The Big Les Show and The Veil, and they're both very similar, sort of independent animation shows.
It's awesome.
I mean, if I didn't watch anything in this community, you know, I would not have gotten to where I was today. I mean, look at Lofty and look at Perry Chan. Those intros were like, I want to do something like that, and then I started doing it, and now I do it every week for Shags.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The whole reason I even started putting music out in 2020 was because of FNT.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're saying,
that's awesome.
You find a passion, you know, something you want to do, just do it, put it out there.
Yeah, yep.
And that's the message from like everybody in this community too. It's not like, oh, you're going to encroach on my space. Screw you. You know, it's not like that. It's, you want to do it. All right. Just go for it, man.
Yeah.
We'll support you if we like the content. If not, then, you'll find something else, and, you just keep working at it till it becomes the thing you want it to be.
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
So, did you want to bring up another article, or is it meme time? No, we got another 10 minutes to meme time.
Yeah, we're also a little light on memes. So, audience, if you're watching, if you got a meme you've been holding back, go to the X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it, Legion of Memers page. Find the post for today's show and post your memes there. So, I want to see what you got. I know Professor Savage dropped a banger one. I'm.
We'll definitely be bringing that one up. Can you go to the missed topics for the police pullover?
Let's see here. Here we are. The Nebraska Police. Oh, I this one I did see. This one is this guy. All right.
This is the most
Let me make
American
sure I get
thing
my-
I have seen in a very long time.
Here we go. Make sure I have my audio on this because you got it. You got to hear this one. This is something. So watch as Nebraska police pull over a man with a bull riding in his passenger seat. So
I saw this.
Police responded to a call of a man driving eastbound on 275 with a Watusi bull in his passenger seat.
Oh, it's a big.
The officers received a call reference.
Look at the poop on the back of the truck.
yeah, right.
That it was going to be
It's not even a truck.
something smaller, something that actually fit.
That's a former police car. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it looks like an old police cruiser.
And on 275 with a Watusi bull.
Replay. Oh,
I'm
Jesus
guessing that
Christ.
happened in America, right?
Yes,
Dermy.
this is
Nebraska. Yeah.
America.
of course it
We
happened
can
in
do
America,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff, Kenzo.
Okay.
So, Mike, when are you driving around with a bull?
Never. That's not happening. That's a lot of bit of something I don't ever want to be part of. Listen, I respect because who's going to tell that guy or that cow no? That guy obviously has nothing to lose in his life. He put all of that effort and work into that, and I don't want to tell that guy no, but that's crazy. You know, my biggest thing is like, what happens if it like shits in the back seat, bro?
Oh, the back of the
Back
truck
rolling the
was
back window.
absolutely filthy.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Was that whole back window was covered in crap.
Oh,
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can highlight that there real quick when we get back to that.
That's my thing, dude. It's got to
I don't know.
smell awful.
I don't know, Mike. It might be some good promotional material. You know, spray Epic Verse on the side of the bull as you're driving. I'm just saying.
Well, and then everybody like as I drive by, just shit in the back window, just right Epic Verse in the window.
You see
Yeah,
what I do to promote these things?
yeah.
You
This is
trying
what
to?
I do for you? Yeah.
Why would you want to write it in bullshit?
Don't worry. Yeah, bro, that was something else. I was like, I couldn't believe that. That thing is huge.
Oh, just scroll down a little bit. There's a picture.
Oh God.
Bro.
Yeah, it really makes the best car entry sign there.
God damn.
It's so much poop. Oh my
It's
god.
like all in the wheel well too, and then
Yeah, it's everywhere. That means when he's driving, he's just slinging shit everywhere behind. Oh my god.
Everyone
dude.
behind that car is getting coated.
Yeah.
Like a motorcyclist is screwed.
Epic Mike will knit before he drives a bull.
Yeah.
In the passenger seat.
Because look at the results of that. Oh my gosh, dude. And like here's the thing, the bull doesn't really look happy about what's happening. It's like
my
I'm kind
question is,
of embarrassed.
the police will pull him over, but what
So
happens
this
when
guy's
Lizzo's driving down the street?
This don't make you proud to be an American, though.
Oh, of course it does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean the American part of it is that we can do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this woman has to chime in to say, "What's wrong with that? My pigs love going for a ride in the truck."
Listen, your
Pigs are different though. They're smaller.
pigs are
man.
very
Yeah, I
different.
know. It's not a. This has to be like a at least, at the very least, like 1,500
Man,
pounds.
They pull you over here for having your dog on the passenger seat.
What?
I swear.
That's like a common thing over here all the time. Like people drive with their dogs. That's not even weird. I don't even blink an eye at that, you know?
No, you gotta have your dog strapped in.
I wish I'd gotten a picture of it. I did pause on one dog that was driving by me. It was a guy in like a purple Hellcat that had a sunroof, and he had a Great Dane. So the dog's head was sticking out above the car.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
so these bulls weigh between 1,000 and 1,600 pounds.
There's
Of course,
just
he
no
had a
reason
cop
for
car.
it.
That's the only reason he had the suspension enough to handle that.
Yeah. That's
I can't.
insane.
I can't imagine going to the mechanic and be like, "The wheels are working, man.
I need to
Yeah,
get
I
this.
don't know what's going on." The
First
mechanic's
inside.
like, "There's shit everywhere."
Yeah, what's wrong with your wheel well? It's caked in cow poop.
I'd never move to the UK either. Just
Kenzo, can you read this super chat for us? Can you translate?
it says, "Oi, mate, you got a license to have that dog riding shotgun."
That was really good.
That's just how I talk, Mike. That's
We're gonna
It's just
put
my regular
Kenzo in
voice.
Hot Fuzz and put a dog in one of the seats while we drive.
We'll do a English version of King of the Hill, and he can be the boomhauer of the group. True Pop can be the Dale Gribble.
Mike, I know you don't have long with us. Do you have a few minutes?
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes. Yeah.
Okay. I say
Absolutely.
we just hop over to memes real quick, and then we'll have you do a little outro so people know where to find you. Do you want to get the memes prepped extra?
Yep, I've got them up and ready. Again, I don't think we have too many today. I guess because of the holiday, people out getting.
Yeah, on holiday weekends, people are enjoying family, and in the Legion, we always say family first. So don't worry about it.
So we can't have, of course, we can't have a meme break without. All right. So
I really like it when
I
you
love
guys.
that.
I really like it when you
Yeah,
American
you
guys
do.
try and do a UK accent.
I mean, the best I can do is an Australian one. You heard mine.
Yeah,
I just sound like the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Well, to Americans, a UK accent is a Cockney accent.
Yeah,
that's it. But we're like we have other accents here too. Like the northern people, like they speak a bit like this, like the Northerners in Game of Thrones. But it's like different here. Like it's the reverse to in America. Like I think your stupid people are in the South, right? Or like
our stupid people are on the coast.
Yeah, they are. They are on the east and the west coast. There's pockets of people in the south that are still pretty ignorant, but they're mostly on the coast.
They're ignorant, but hell, are they smart, man? I've met some really freaking smart rednecks that you would be like,
oh yeah,
you've never picked up a book in your life, and then they go and tell you like all the shit about the universe, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. Can't sleep on rednecks, man.
That's it. They'll build a truck with their bare hands from scratch.
Most of the people I've known in IT that were like legit were country boys. Like they just got into doing IT, and they can tell you everything about servers and networking, and they were hunting and fishing every weekend. So
that's the way to do it, man. I mean, hardworking country boys like that, they do it right, Yeah.
You know what is for anybody who's hardworking? A big cup of angry butt juice.
I don't understand it, man. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't look appealing. It's just a big, like dark cup. Like it's a cup of dark liquid.
Have you had Krigler coffee?
No, it's all coffee. It's boiled beans.
I do mine cold brew. I don't do it boiled.
Listen.
I wanted to support Adam. Adam's my boy. And I bought some Krigler coffee, and it's the first coffee I've ever had that tastes like it smells.
Okay. Now, would you drink that same coffee if those beans had passed through the digestive system of an animal?
If Adam's name was on it, maybe.
No. Here's the thing. Go support Adam. Listen, Krigler coffee, I've heard it's good if you like that stuff. But dude, it's just boiled bean juice. Some guy was like, just strain these beans and just put them through hot water.
But you can charge more for it if you make an animal eat them and shit them out.
Yeah. Look at this. Hey, I found these beans on the ground. This thing just shit out all over the floor. Let's wash them off and let's make coffee out of them. Some guy was like, dude, that's the best coffee I've ever had. What are you talking about?
Take my money.
They even have elephant poop coffee. Okay?
Mike, chat has turned on you.
No, listen, this is where this is going to inevitably lead to. Eventually, there's going to be like dog poop coffee. They're going to keep finding beans that these animals in the wild fucking eat. That they can't
there is dog poop coffee.
I've got the Akita brew.
It's called Cass Brew Coffee.
No, don't do that. That's what I'm saying, bro. They're like, hey, this disgusting animal out in the wild, it just shits beans out, and we're gonna take them because somebody has to pick through their shit to get those beans. And they're like, we're gonna wash them off. But this is the thing, and I've said this a million times. You guys have set me off now. Listen, if you watched your dog eat a fork and you shit it out on the floor, even if you washed it off, would you still eat with the fork? No, you throw the fork in the garbage because it came out of the thing's asshole. I don't care if it's not digested. And you're like, beans, not digested beans, wash them off. Put them in my coffee. No, It's disgusting.
I would argue, about throwing the fork away, like just putting it in the dishwasher. But I know a guy. He's a good friend of mine. He works for the government. He's the real life Homer Simpson. And one time he has like the worst diet, or had the worst diet in the world, and he got a hemorrhoid. And he couldn't wait to go to the doctors. And he almost killed himself because he stood over a mirror and tried to lance his own hemorrhoid with a steak knife, despite having the best healthcare you can get. And the first thing I asked him after his now wife found him bleeding out in the bathtub, I said, "You threw the knife away, right?" And he goes, "No, I washed it off. I still use it. I'm never having dinner at your house."
I'm saying, bro.
Ever.
Bro, because one of those knives was touching his nasty hemorrhoid.
Yes,
one of those knives was touching his butt. And you're like, I can't do it, man. If you knew your buddy routinely just wiped his ass with his silverware and washed it, you still wouldn't eat with his silverware. So why are they eating coffee beans out of a thing's butthole? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. I like coffee ice cream. I'm just saying. I like coffee ice cream.
It's the same thing as like the people that eat sushi, and then they're like, "Oh, listen, it's just raw fish, whatever."
Sushi.
Okay, listen, all right, whatever. You want to eat raw fish? Maybe you don't have any time to cook it. You prepare it, whatever, and then it inevitably leads to like they're eating like octopus tentacles, and they're like, "It's not enough that it's dead. We have to cut off a live octopus tentacle. Like this thing could suction in your throat and kill you." They're like, "Oh, that makes it taste even better." And then they're like, "Hey, look at this super poisonous fish."
I don't eat moving food.
That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't. But they do.
So, Epic Mike, do you have the same take on beef jerky where it's just like, yeah, somebody just forgot to take care of it? It's like old meat.
Beef jerky it's kind of
tastes good.
Like, yeah, it tastes good. Like plus, like aged meat is pretty base too. Like I've had some really good aged meat. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, if you do it right, that's the thing. But here's the thing too, like it's an animal's like flesh, like things like that make sense. Okay, like to me, and it's nothing against people that eat mushrooms and whatever, but like it's fungus. Like somebody found it growing on a log somewhere and was like, "I'm just gonna eat this." I'm gonna
if
put
I
it in my mouth and chew it up.
Hang out with you, Mike. I'm buying you pizza. I can eat your pizza.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Like I get why people maybe like them. But like they're naturally occurring. But at some point, it's the same thing with milk. Like I like drinking milk, but I realize at some point some guy was like, "Wow, that baby cow is really getting it. I want some of that too." Like and you just grab the thing and just put it in a cup, drank it. It's gross. It's weird. It's weird how we get to these points with things.
You know what is weird too? Like a mother would freak out if another woman breastfed her child, but she's happy to give it like a bottle of milk that could have come from 1,000 cows potentially.
Yeah. She's like, "What are you doing? Get your breast milk away from my kid."
Well, you know what's interesting? I read somewhere once that the people that are lactose intolerant are normal, and the people that can tolerate lactose are genetic mutants.
Really?
Like
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we had to mutate to be, and I'm lactose intolerant, but I still eat through the pain because I fucking love dairy.
Yeah.
But I was surprised by that the ability for us to digest milk from other animals is a genetic mutation.
Well, apparently we've only been farming for around 5,000 years. Like
we're X-Men.
We've only been farming for 5,000. Prior to that, we would have been hunting like bovine creatures rather than farming them and drinking their milk. So that does make sense. We haven't evolved enough.
Yeah.
I think
in most of my recipes, I'll like replace milk with coconut milk, and it's a lot better.
I think they do actually sell it Medistep, but not in stores. Like you have to find a website.
Yeah, I'm sure they do sell it.
Go to Facebook Marketplace. You'll be able to find it. I guarantee it.
I wish I had like something to use for his face because I totally meme that thing from Family Guy with Hilary Swank's breast milk.
You could probably get it straight from the tap on some websites, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. He's just like, "Oh man, look at this giant cup of boiled bean juice. Time to pour like woman's breast milk in there." I think it's funny that we think that that's weird though. We're like, "I'll drink it from a cow, but from a person, yuck." You grew up with it.
Can I borrow your titty? I've got some Captain Crunch here that needs some hydration.
Right in the bowl, you're like, "Yeah, that's nice." Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Not too much milk. Not too much milk. You don't want to.
Whoa, yeah, chill out. Yeah,
all I can think of now is there was a show on Comedy Central called The Hollow Man, and it was kind of like The State, or like a sketch comedy show that didn't last for long. But you see this woman on a bench, and she's got a blanket over her shoulder, and she's breastfeeding her baby. And then from the side of the screen, you hear chug, 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 chug. You go over, and it's all 4 guys like straight at the baby going chug, 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 chug.
That's funny.
I see a video of an American lady on a flight, and she was breastfeeding a cat.
No.
Yes.
Nope, you gotta go up the airlock when you do that.
I swear.
Is that
It
the
was the
same?
guy next to her sort of had seen it, and she was trying to cover it up like it was a baby. No, leave me alone, leave me alone. And he just pulled the blanket off. And he's like, see, I told you. It's a fucking cat.
Motherfucker is not real. Is that like the same idiot that brought the emotional support peacock on the plane? Did you not see
This is
that?
America.
No.
I'm sorry.
Peacock onto a plane as her emotional support animal.
All right, guys. Let's get back to the memes.
Yeah,
I know we have a
let's
few of them.
roll through the last bit of memes here. So we have this one here from Samuel the Infamous. So this one I guess I'm lost, but this is with Ryan from Legion Gaming.
And from
Carol
Oreo.
Life Mates Forever. Is that Carol Baskin's body?
Well, it looks like.
We're very happy for you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I need a little bit of context for that one. Let me just refresh here to see if we got any extras here. No, we don't. So we're gonna go over to
Look
this
up
one.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
That is
for
actually
serious
pretty sexy.
man.
Look at that.
There's no kind of atmosphere.
Wait,
This is Red
why do
Dwarf?
I have a K on my head?
I
know what
don't
it is.
know.
This has got to be Red Dwarf.
Cold outside, there's no kind of... I can't sing it.
I think that is Red Dwarf. Yeah.
It's Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Red Dwarf.
Yeah. Epic Mike is Lister. Dermy's Crichton. Alf is Cat. And your Rimmer. No Green Rocks.
It's been a long time since I watched that show.
Yeah, you'd make a fine Rimmer.
Well,
Well, I'm not sure whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. I've never
wow,
seen it.
that's funny.
And lastly, we got this
no.
one from Professor Savage, Dad of me. Recently arrested in Legion County on 13 counts, including decent exposure, not having been memed enough, having too many Transformers, not simping, and many more. Extra 08's bail was set to a $5 super chat.
And big shout out to Professor Savage Dad. He's using the special Legion logo for members. So if you're a member on YouTube, you can get that and use it in your memes. It's totally fine. And enjoy. And we really appreciate you guys being members. So you want to read that out?
Yeah, let's read this out. So Samuel the Infant says, no context really. Devil made me do it. Walk me through Bazart, and I'm flexing my new poor skills.
Mm-hmm. But that's not a bad little app, actually. It's an iOS
Yeah.
Photoshop kind of clone thingy. I've used it.
Oh,
It's not,
nice.
it has some
Okay.
okay functions.
So Mike, I know you need to head out early.
Yes, unfortunately, yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Did you want to promote anything for the end? Let people know where to find you.
As always, go check out epicverse.tv. Go over to 221B Tactical. You can get some cool merch there. Go check that out. But you can catch me Mondays on Mario Kart with Geeks and Gamers. You guys know where that is. Tuesday night's main event. Tuesday mornings, though, go check out the Daywalker podcast on Amanda Daywalker Comedy's channel. She's hilarious. I love being her co-host. It's wonderful. But she also says some things that she will definitely regret for the rest of her life.
Yeah, you two are funny together.
Yeah, she routinely tries to get her channel demonetized, and I try to stop her. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we always have a good time there. And then, yeah, be sure to check out Geeks and Gamers Tabletop on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Our party is fully evil. We haven't had sex with any bears. We're just out here, murdering innocent villages and towns because we didn't want to go to them. So we're always having a good time over there. So yeah, go check us out over there. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, it was a really good time.
I've been seeing some memes popping out of Tabletop, and I'm loving them.
Yeah, it's a rough game. Yeah, I mean, we're having a good time, but people in the game aren't having a good time. So we're killing everybody.
Highness
Hi,
says
Highness.
yes. Follow Daywalk Comedy. Absolutely. She's been a guest on here as well. Great
Yeah,
stuff.
she's awesome.
Her skits are just.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Amanda's amazing. She's a genius.
My daughter still use the lay tits out joke every once in a while.
It's so good. It's such a good sketch, man. She's hilarious. Yeah, man. So yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, my dude. And we'll have you on another time for sure. You know,
absolutely. I'm gonna work really hard to not sleep through it. So what's that?
That's it. It's always fun when you're on, man.
Yeah, man. And yeah, I'll keep in touch with you guys. But yeah, feel free to invite me. And like I said, I'll do my best to stay awake. Because I don't drink boiled bean juice. I have to just rely on my own body to keep me awake. You know, it's one of those things.
You gotta change that at one of the meetups. Just hand you a cup of cola and see how you enjoy it.
I'll taste the boiled bean juice, spit it right out again. Yeah. No, thanks so much for having me though.
Out of your head.
Yeah, there you go. But thank you guys so much for having me. I gotta be at bouncing. It never stops over here. So no, but thank you guys. Like I said, I'll definitely be back. I always have a good time hanging out with you guys. So
can't wait to actually hear what's really going on in the Epic verse. I'm excited, man.
Oh man, well, we're definitely chomping at the bit to get it out there for you guys. And like I said, man, the biggest thing, we've talked a little bit more about it, man, is we just wanted to give people content. It's easy to run a crowdfunder or run a go on GoFundMe or something and say, hey, give us money, we'll make you guys stuff. Anybody can do that, but it's one other thing to say, hey, we're going to work with what we got, the resources that we have, the very little money we have, and we're going to put some stuff out there so that you guys can look at us and trust that we're going to get better. We're going to do, allocate your money correctly. We're going to do the right things with your money so that we can get better and give you guys more entertaining stuff. That's kind of the philosophy over, here is just that we want to give you guys something to look forward to and give you a hope for the future, man, that, independent content and stuff can be just as entertaining, hopefully, as the Hollywood stuff. And hopefully, it'll make these bigger studios jealous enough to either give us money to make better projects or to just make it on their own. But I just want to see people get better. I want to see us get back to a point where we appreciate making art and good movies again and making entertainment and stuff for people. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, see you later, my dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys have a great day. See ya.
Thanks, you too, man. We do have a couple of super chats too to get into.
All right, let's get to those supers. Thank you very much. Metastep says for $5, free extra zero. No, I need him as producer. Professor Savage Dad says for $5. Okay, I will post this for you, but if you leave town and screw me out of this $5, I will be pissed.
The good news is I'm not going anywhere today.
Thank you for that. Appreciate you guys.
You also had one from Metastep.
Floodzilla hopping in saying extra zero.
What up, Flood?
That's how I know I made one too many Glizzy memes. Yes, you did.
Flood,
you did miss my
you are now a mod. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, he only had a short time with us, but he'll be back again soon. And just so you know, 4 members. Check the community tab of the YouTube. We have space for 2 more people. So whoever is first will be on. The first 2 people will be on for the last hour of the show. I'm going to be trying to do more member streams, but I'm working on a few projects in the background. So once I get those sorted out, we'll be doing that more. So extra zero, do you want to bring up any of the topics?
Yeah, let's talk about this one. Let's talk about, we're talking about the need for independent media. I think this is going to be a great segue here. Because I think everybody's seen this, and this is, I don't want to play the clip because this is
actually play this without getting hit.
I don't know that we can. Well, actually, we should be able to because the quartering and a lot of other content creators have done it. So let me share with audio here real quick and see how long we can survive because this is cringe. I'm not going to full screen it though.
2 seconds of it, but I'll go through it because of chat and you guys.
One more time. Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon.
I'm Stephen Colbert.
I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I thought when you said Jimmy, you meant me, Jimmy, but you meant Jimmy.
I always mean you.
But when you
I
say
always,
Seth Meyers, who do you mean?
I mean John Oliver.
It's the five of us together for maybe an hour a day.
Strike Force 5 is
Maybe hold on, pause this.
Let's do it now.
Maybe an hour a day.
Yeah, and
These people are so freaking wealthy. They can only do this for an hour a day, maybe. You know how many streamers do this full time and do this for hours and hours on end?
Floss is out of cringe. Yeah, you know, it's funny because they're all in these rooms trying to make themselves look like, you know, everyday people. You know, their home offices are probably pretty substantial, and yet here they are, you know, in their garages or guest bedroom or whatever, setting up like a mic and probably a PC or a laptop to do this, just to appear like everyday normal people. But I feel like this is just their attempt, even though they claim they're trying to help people out within the within the strike. I think this is also kind of like a greasy way for them to try and maintain some sort of relevance, because we're how many months in the strike? 5, 6 now.
Mm-hmm. And
Maybe
nobody has
long.
noticed that there is no late night TV.
Exactly.
Noticed
right now, and maybe we're part of the problem. We're talking about these motherfuckers. We're talking about them, and we're making them relevant again. When, you know, a month ago, I hadn't thought about Kimmel or.
Yeah, but you're making them relevant in a negative way, and I'm okay with that.
True.
I mean, you're pointing out like the slimy things they're doing and how phony they look.
Yeah. And I guess maybe I just hope people see through it. I think, you know, they see through it and they realize that their lives are no worse not having them on TV every night.
I mean,
and the fact that these people are not funny without the writers.
Yeah, was anyone really even watching them? I mean, late night TV has ratings have been horrible in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I haven't gone through their numbers in a bit. I mean, you know, the last I looked was years ago when, and I used to have tremendous respect for Jimmy Kimmel. I used to love the Man Show. I used to like him and on you know, his collaborations he did doing Crank Calls. I wasn't a big fan of Crank Yankers, but I thought he was funny. And I'm a huge fan of Adam Carolla. I've met Adam Carolla. Adam's a great dude. Now, Adam won't say anything bad about Jimmy because Jimmy's the reason that Adam even has a career. Back when Adam was trying to get into radio and Jimmy was already established on the radio, he took a chance on him. So I respect that Adam, you know, respects somebody that he recognizes is responsible for his career today. But like, what the hell happened to Jimmy Kimmel, man?
And I used to love late night TV, you know, back before the internet, you know, blew up. Because I used to love
amazing.
Yeah, Conan and Leno.
Ferguson was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I used to like Jay Leno back in the day, but ever since Leno and Letterman left, and it's just not funny.
Fall brings up a good point. People are probably just falling asleep with this shit on, and that's where they get any of their ratings. You know, people watch the evening news, fall asleep during that, and then.
So it's only on Spotify, from what I hear.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody has.
Well, it says check it out on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. They said make sure you watch on
anything
Spotify.
on YouTube. I've seen nothing on YouTube for it.
Probably not YouTube, but probably like the Apple and Google Play stores or what.
So the elitist bullshit.
Yeah. But I think on Spotify, they probably got some sort of deal and they're encouraging people to go there because the metrics are going to matter there more than anywhere else.
Yeah, We'll Keep It Bad, same. I actually remember watching Carson.
Yeah, I remember
Johnny
Carson
Carson is pretty good.
But I have fonder memories of the late night wars when Leno and Letterman were competing against one another. And it's so weird that all 5 of these guys, they don't have any friendly competition or anything. And that's, I think, one of the things that contributes to it being so sterile. They don't care who you watch. There's no competition whatsoever. And it's just all completely sterilized, sanitized humor that's more about you know, claptivism than actually entertaining and making people like giving people an escape at the end of a long day. And that's what old late night TV was escapism. It was a way to laugh or stay in the loop about, what celebrities and musicians had going on. But the internet made so much of that irrelevant that, hey, at least if the humor's there, that makes it worth watching. But no, the humor's gone.
Well, it was also when Leno and Letterman were on, it was also back in a time period when we didn't have celebrities running at the mouth on the internet, and there was still a mystique to the celebrities. So people liked watching those interviews and seeing, them, talking about their lives and whatnot. So,
yeah.
So, big shout out to subscribing. The Brown Filipino has subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And I did want to give a little promotion to Horror Amarada, who is in chat. We love you too, Horror. Appreciate you. She is almost at 500 subs on YouTube. I'm going to drop her channel in the chat. Now, I can't say that font, but yes. So I'm going to drop her channel in the chat. I think for 500 subs, she's going to do a 12-hour stream. And for 1,000, she's going to do a 24-hour stream. So I'm asking you, everybody here, get her to 1,000.
Get her to 1,000.
Let's just do it. Let's rock it and support her.
Well, if every one of her subscribers makes a sock puppet account.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I caught Lethal stream. I caught Lethal streaming this morning, and he said, "I will never, ever, ever do a 24-hour stream ever again."
Well, I kind of want to see how it's done. So, Horror, let's get you to 1,000. Just retweet, share, and enjoy her content, because I think when I was doing a different job, I was staying up pretty late at night, and I was watching her gaming streams and everything. So she puts a lot of work into it, and I really think we should get her channel to 1,000. So yeah, I really appreciate your Horror, and we are working on a project together. Should be ready in the next few weeks. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the her Twitter as well. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes. Yes. But you are a fun time to watch playing these games. But Extra Zero, you want to bring up anything else on there?
Yeah, let's pull this one up because I found this really interesting. There's a bit to unpack here. But Liam Neeson calls Star Wars fandom a cult. He says there's so many movies and spinoffs, and I think you're diluting the whole thing, said Liam Neeson, who played Jedi Qui-Gon Jinn in the Star Wars prequel and cameo in the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And this isn't the first time he said something like this before. He did, like, months ago, he said something similar.
So it's basically going around the cycle again because he said it again, so everybody's raging again.
Well, I'm not exactly sure if that's it. I don't recall people raging about him previously. But I feel like what I've been hearing with Qui-Gon is just people saying like, well, wait a minute, this whole lightsaber through the chest trope that Disney's been doing. It started, where did it really kick off? I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Reva survives 2 lightsabers through the chest, and now in the Ahsoka series, in Jedi. Well, I think people were kind of unfair on Fallen Order because Cal took it in the shoulder, not the chest. But Critical Drinker did a great video this week about what would happen if a lightsaber impaled you, like take into account. Like,
nice! I haven't seen that. I'm gonna go watch that after this for sure.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch.
Flood says it sounds like he's dissing the creators. I don't think he is. I mean, is he dissing the creators though, or is he dissing the studio who's doing it?
I think it's doing that. And he's also, I think he is throwing in the Disney shill fans, who just absolutely praise every single thing that comes out. Like Disney Star Wars, love it.
That's it as it stands. The fandom is kind of split.
Well, yeah.
You know what's really interesting about all this, and you know, back in 20 was it 2018, I had a falling out with a lot of people who I used to do shows with, because I stated my opinion about Star Wars, thinking that, well, this is my opinion. I figure you guys would respect it coming from me when I saw The Last Jedi. And, you know, I'm not going to beat a dead horse talking about The Last Jedi, but, you know, I remember when the prequel trilogy kicked off and people like Kevin Smith were, you know, very critical of episode 1 and episode 2 and episode 3. Kevin Smith was critical of all 3 of those movies. You remember Clerks 2, you know, just all the riffing on Hayden Christensen's acting and that one scene in movies. And, you know, in the Clerks cartoon, they put George Lucas on the trial, and the you know, the trial for Dante Hicks. You know, Randall brought him in as a guest witness.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Clerks 3 has lots of Mandalorian references in it.
Oh, I haven't seen Clerks 3. I refuse to.
Yeah, I've watched it.
And God, that's terrible, because that's just.
We got a hot take here. Clinton goes, the worst Jedi. I don't know about that. I think he's a pretty good Jedi. I mean, I read, now it's not canon, but from what I read in the books, he was a great Jedi.
I guess the roundabout point I wanted to get to is, you know, back in the early 2000s, it was not controversial if you didn't like something. If you were like, hey, I don't like what they did in the prequels, it was like, cool, man, I like them, but you do you. It was very live and let live. And now with the current fan base, they are so defensive, so volatile. Even if you are a fan yourself, even if you're a fan of the Disney stuff, a good friend of mine still likes the Disney stuff. He still watches it, but he sees the plot holes. But he can't talk about it with the other Disney fans because he's afraid they'll throw him under a bus.
Yeah.
Because and that's where I think the cult-like aspect comes in.
It's funny, they call us toxic fans for being critical of it, but it's really the shills that are the toxic fans, because they just seal clap for everything that comes out, and you know, then they're on board when the company takes shots at us, you know, for not liking it.
Yeah.
Wookiee Be Bad has the right take, I think. Ahsoka is the worst fake Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
She's not an
She
I
left.
know. I think Ray is, but
I never give sequels their given names, as I do not respect them. The Force Awakens, The Worst Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. I apologize.
I mean, the thing that I dislike the most about the sequel stuff is not even just the sequel stuff, but the Filoni stuff. I've never been a huge Filoni fan, and the big thing is everything they've done not only has diluted the original trilogy, but it's made the Skywalker saga just kind of a drop in the pond. Like, it's so insignificant of a story now. The whole idea of Anakin bringing balance to the Force, well, he didn't. It was Palpatine that brought balance to the Force now. And there have just been so many retcons and so many changes and added characters, and like the Purge, Order 66 was, you know, so irrelevant because so many Jedi and Sith survived. All these secret people in existence that were super powerful. It's just like, why do this? I think the you know, if you wanted to do something like Knights of the Old Republic, tell a story thousands of years in the future. You know, if you're not going to have Han, Luke, Leia, and Chewie all get reunited, because that never happened. It's just such wasted potential, and I really hope that years from now history doesn't look back fondly on it, because it doesn't deserve to be. And you know, I think the thing is that at Disney, that bothers them so much, why they drive this fan base, is, you know, that the sequel trilogy, as much as they try and as much as they try to convince people, it does not have the same cultural significance that the original trilogy had, or even a speck of the significance that the prequel trilogy achieved. And it just never will.
Yeah. At this point, the Ewoks movies are better than anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see an Ewok Jedi.
I got another one we can talk about too.
I put something in the private chat too. Just,
yeah, let's pull that up because I know a lot of us have seen this, and I think everybody on here who has
the
seen
music's
this
safe.
definitely-
I've put it on my YouTube channel.
Right
Oh,
on.
King, thank you.
So
I'm
let's
still
go
working on
ahead.
that track for you, Kenzo. By the way.
Yeah, no worries.
Get this maximized.
You know what I love? I love the fact that y'all are collaborating together.
This is just
I
a
love
very,
these
very
collaborative projects.
This is just a very short preview of part of the upcoming Full Aussie project that I'm working on, and there will be an extended trailer coming out that will have a voiceover from a special secret guest.
Am I going to get shit on again?
No. Yeah.
Nice. No, I half expected him to rage towards Lethal about the.
It is going to be quite. It's going to be about a 9-minute, 10-minute episode.
Wow.
But it's not going to be ready for a little while. Probably about 4 to 6 weeks, to be honest, because we've got to get Mozza and Rhino in to do 10 minutes of script reading, etc., etc. And we have MozzaCon going on next week, where we have Blabs visiting them boys, and
oh, that's gonna be so good.
Have some
I can't wait for the
interesting
content that
memes.
comes out from
Yeah.
that, dude. Metastep says, "Will you guys meme on Liam Neeson?"
We will meme on whoever you want us to meme on, Metastep.
You can also meme yourself as well, and
Tag us.
hashtag the Legion in there as well. It's kind of hard to do it during a show just because you have to kind of focus on what you're doing. But yeah, make and enjoy. Palps is a creep saying that he wanted to get into credit where the Force goes Chris and oh my god.
Take a seat.
Yeah, man, Steph, go ahead. I can't wait to see it. More memes are coming out from what I see. Did you see the last one from Dolomite?
Oh, we got a new one.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this pulled up here.
Your mom gets it pulled up there.
Oh.
She's dead.
Oh, mine is too. So.
Oh, good fucking God.
Is it like
oh,
the
man.
joke in,
I hope he's still in the chat. From Dolomite. Gary meeting True Pop at the London meetup.
That is perfect, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that shit.
Hail, True Pop Culture. I know you're busy.
What's-
if you're watching right now, this one's
What's
for you.
what's your name,
Oh,
little
my-
boy?
I just came back from pilgrimage to sing you baby, baby, baby. Oh.
Working be bad. That's a 10. Yeah, absolutely. Don't worry about it, Metastep. I totally get it, man.
Is baby a song you can make a face app sing? Because
Yeah, you could do that, but that's a paid app.
no,
So,
I did pay for it, so I'm curious. I might have
okay.
I might have
Well,
to
there you
add to
go.
that. I guess we should go into another story here.
Yeah, for
we probably
sure.
have time for one or two more, so let's get these out of the way with this first one from Variety. Suicide Squad broke David Ayer. Deadpool to open, right? And they never tested Batman versus Superman. They got hammered by all the critics. Then it's like, okay, we're going to turn David Ayer's dark, soulful movie into a fucking comedy now.
You know what? I liked. Okay, so the first Suicide Squad was poop, but the second one was far better. And I think it was because of how bad the first one was.
I mean, David Ayer, this was a guy that prior to even touching, the superhero genre, I mean, he did Fury, he did End of Watch, Street Kings, Tax Collector. I mean, he was more of a serious film director. But, again, maybe this is another Training Day was probably. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That was this TV series. But he did SWAT. No, he wrote Training Day. And then he worked on the TV series that didn't really take off. But this is a guy that was, a very serious director and writer. My hot take is I think James Gunn broke these movies between James Gunn and the guy that did the first Joss Whedon.
Air?
I think
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon and
Joss
and
Whedon,
James Gunn.
Yeah.
Because these movies went from, they could be anything. Like the first Ant-Man was a heist movie. Guardians of the Galaxy was like a comedy, comedy action movie. The Captain America trilogy was very like a very serious thriller. And the thing about the MCU was that there was a lot of variety, and people kind of expected the DCU to have a lot of that, though it was initially the dark, brooding Zack Snyder style. And then it kind of drifted into more of that action comedy. And I think everything's kind of devolved into action comedy. And I can understand where he's upset by that. I'm not specifically blaming Whedon or Gunn for that. I just think that's what the studios thought people wanted for every single movie. And it just sucks because, we're seeing the superhero movie turn from something that everybody desired and wanted and was, geeks were finally happy to see, to it getting hijacked and then being turned into the modern day Western and monster movies of the past, where there's just too much.
Yeah. People are talking about like, oh, this is an end to superhero movies. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's an end to superhero movies. I think it's an end to crappy superhero movies. Yeah. These movies take millions and millions and millions of dollars to make, and if you keep putting out crap, which is what they're doing, they're gonna lose all the people who would have seen it otherwise.
Yeah, they're trying to fit everything into a box.
Yeah,
I don't think superhero movies will go away. I think they'll go back to being a niche, like
Western monster movies. And, everybody has already forgotten too that in the early 2000s we got a huge influx of zombie movies, and then it all built up around Walking Dead, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, the show won't fucking die,"
And they still got spin-offs of that show.
Okay, so with that show, I mean, I stopped watching. I think around the time the kid had to put down his mom. I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
Did anybody actually read the comic though, or the?
No. I've seen bits of the comic, but I never actually read the full thing.
The comic is so much better. Like the comic is way more character focused, and the characters have very clear motivations, and the interactions with everybody's meaningful. There's a lot of nuance. There's nothing that's really in your face. Things are just handled so much better. There's a lot more tragedy. There's a lot more seriousness. I definitely recommend it. And it sucks because when I tell people like, man, you need to, but I hate the show. The show just got so bad. I'm like, no, but the comic also has a definitive ending.
I think the problem with The Walking Dead is it was a phenomenon when it first came out, and then the company just turned it into something they could milk for as far as they could take it. Yeah. And there's something to be said about shows that know when to end.
That's again, Babylon 5, I think, is one of the best examples of that, because he had a 5-year plan. He didn't want to go beyond 5 years.
Or even Battlestar Galactica, the remake series, 4 seasons, one and done. It was perfect for them to end when they did. They didn't need to go any longer.
Yeah.
There was another thing that I actually wanted to talk about, that
the Portnoy pizza thing.
No. The Wookie Be Bad actually brought it up. Did you guys get to the gaming companies joining the strikes? It should be in the gaming VFX. The first.
Let's see. Oh, I see it here.
Are you kidding me?
We also have the thing about Volition's shutting down. I think we can segue both of those because I think there's relevance to the two. But yeah, so right here from discussing film, SAG-AFTRA president Fran Drescher. Is it the Fran Drescher?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Nah.
I have the same problem with Fran Drescher that I have with Sofia Vergara. They're both very beautiful women. I can't stand listening to them talk.
No, Sofia Vergara, I can definitely.
It's just so loud. I'm going to tell you that I have a very Spanish accent, as loud as I possibly can.
Well, I think
So-
it's a bit more seductive than that, but yeah.
Well, I can't pull out seductive. I'm a fat white dude.
But yeah, I think they're trying to get people to care about this more, like the strike more. So they're trying
I
to like
support
encroach on
this.
this.
I hate stories in games anymore. I just want to get to the game. I don't have that much time. You know what my biggest pet peeve in gaming is? I see a cool looking game and I'm like, man, I just want to sit down and play this game. I sit through an hour and a half long installation sometimes for a gigantic game. Yeah, that's probably being a little bit over. It's probably, just under an hour, right? And I get into the game and I have to sit through a 30-minute cutscene that I don't give two flying fucks about, that's unskippable. And then I have to do all the tutorial stuff with cringe dialogue. And then it's just like 2 hours have gone by and it's like, man, I just want to play the game. Can we get back? And this is why I love Nintendo. If Microsoft and Sony went away, I'd be happy because I still have Nintendo. And you can shit on Nintendo all you want because they don't have the best and latest graphics. I don't care about graphics. I just want a fun game. So if the writers go the fuck away and we stop trying to get games that want to be Hideo Kojima movies, I would be a happy boy.
I'm okay with
So
games
you're
that have.
you're for this?
Oh,
then.
100%. They can fuck off because the people that are going to strike, they're all pieces of fucking shit. I don't care about them. I don't want them in my games.
I'm okay with games that have stories. I mean, there's a place for everything, but there's also, I was fearing when they started doing the online thing, because I used to be a big modern or Call of Duty player, but then they started ditching all the stories for just online play.
Yeah. And to Cell Shade and Wookie Big Bad's point, right? Like FromSoft won't be a part of it, and stories fine. So look, yeah, I don't mind a little bit of a story game. I love the Doom 2016 game. The story took a back seat. I want to play a game, not watch a movie. And the people that are here, they're like the Neil Druckmanns of the world that want you to, the Hideo Kojimas of the world that want you to sit through a 3-hour movie with a game peppered in. So when I say that those people can fuck off, that's who I'm talking about.
Well, there needs to be balance between story and
hugely
gameplay, and they've gone either one way or the other. Like you either have games that have no story and just like the Call of Duty games, they've devolved into just online play, multiplayer, and then you have stories like you're talking about that have just you're sitting through 30 minutes of cutscenes. It's just annoying.
You said there was another one you wanted to segue into?
Yeah, because this is a great segue, and I think we can probably have this as our last story for the day. But if you all remember the Saints Row reboot, which
which bombed.
It bombed.
No, the studio is shutting down.
Yeah, so the developer of Saints Row Volition is shutting, and it's sad because prior to them getting corrupted, they were a great studio.
Yeah.
They put out a lot of bangers, and Saints Row was a game that took everybody by surprise. I mean, this is a company that came out swinging. I think a lot of people who had the PlayStation 2 when it came out loved Red Faction. That was a game that came out in 2001, and that was a beloved series. They did that Punisher game in 2004. That was like
that game was
hardcore.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then they came out with Saints Row, and people just really loved the game and how it was an alternative to Grand Theft Auto. It was just so ridiculous. Like Grand Theft Auto did satire. Saints Row really did satire, and it was just the most jarring thing to see Saints Row go from being very satirical to being that. So let me read their statement out. The Volition team has proudly created world-class entertainment for fans around the globe for 30 years. We've been driven by a passion for our community and always worked to deliver joy, surprise, and delight. The past June, Embracer Group, there's one of their problems, announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. As part of the program, they evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. To help our team, we're working to provide job assistance and help smooth the transition for our Volition family members. We thank customers and fans around the world for the love and support over the years. You will always be in our hearts. Volition Games. Now, I heard someone say that Embracer is basically one of the Black Rocks of gaming. And I wouldn't be shocked if they push this ESG nonsense to acquire the Saints Row brand, but get them out of the way to come in and get somebody to make a cheaper game that is more in tune or more middle of the road for what Saints Row originally was, and be like, hey guys, it's back.
Yeah, but no one will buy it.
No, that's not true. That's not true at
Well,
all.
true.
I think a small number of people will buy it, but
Well,
not
yeah,
enough to make a massive
what I mean,
difference.
yeah, what I mean is it's going to have the same reception as the last game.
Well, I mean, there's a big conspiracy around Anheuser-Busch, right? Is that they're looking to sell the Bud Light brand. They came in, they did all this ESG stuff. They got Heiner Schmidt in. They made the decisions they made. They devalued the brand. Someone comes in, buys it up for pennies on the dollar, and goes, "Look, guys, Bud Light's American owned again." And then you get Kid Rock drinking it in public, and all the chud rednecks are chugging that stuff like it never went out of style. It's like the new Coke effect.
No, I mean, that's a good point. Do you think they're doing this so these companies can take over? So
I think so. I mean, that's the thing is you start looking, and I'm no fan of Games Pass and what Microsoft does. I wasn't a fan of, and God, I hate when people keep linking me to Fratanga Plays. That guy is just there shouldn't be any console war stuff, but I do believe in competition, and I'm upset by how much certain groups are able to acquire in the gaming space. Like they're just, they're buying away competition, and it's just sanitizing it so they can just offer subscription models. But groups like Embracer and Deep Silver, EA's done it. Microsoft's been notorious for it. Sony isn't a saint either. We shouldn't have, and you would think that antitrust laws would stop this stuff. But, this is something that we're seeing with all these major acquisitions is staples in industries, be it in film or gaming. They're getting acquired. Their identity is being stripped away, and they're being devalued. And all the major groups care about is having their IPs, Because, I mean, what does it matter? Volition's closed down, but now Embracer has the Saints Row franchise to do whatever they want with without Volition in the way. And, then they don't have to pay the people that originally created the game.
It's also you said, they're all they care about is the IPs and pumping out game after game instead of being creative and making new things. It's the same thing that happened to Hollywood.
So I wanted to ask you guys, there is a new game that came out that seems to be causing a bit of controversy. I think this will probably be the last subject that we talk about. Can you bring up the article or the thing after? Yeah, that one. So I know it seems like I'm hearing mixed reviews about this new Starfield game. Have any of you guys gotten it?
I have Games Pass, but
it's on early access right now. I didn't pay for the early access. I was debating getting it on Wednesday, but after watching Az play, and the gameplay is exactly what Extra was saying earlier. It's a lot of story and not a lot of gameplay. Az is like, he was talking about it's like hours of boredom broken up by short moments of action.
So let's play this clip from Az.
Listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Yes.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
The music.
Of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the conflict.
That music every time gets me.
So I know Shags is playing this right now live, and he seems to have a different take on this than quite a few people in the community. A lot of people are not playing it because of like the pronouns and everything like that in the game. But we were having a conversation behind the scenes before about why this kind of stuff is bad. Extra, did you want to get into that?
Yeah. So before I had a little bit of a busy morning, but I was catching up on my feed, and I saw Dan Vask actually requested a refund on the game because he was kind of upset over the fact that they're normalizing the choice of they them pronouns. When we pull up the tweet here. And so, yeah, Dan, I don't think this was the original one, but Dan said, this he, him here, I'm saying I'm mad, apparently spent all, oh, wait, nope, that's not the right one. Let me get the right one. But it was an argument between Lofty and Dan, so Lofty Pixels and Dan Vask regarding the fact that here we are. So this is Dan's original tweet. And Dan writes,
and the thing is, I understand both points of the argument, which is a little frustrating.
So Dan writes, requested a refund for Starfield. Fuck Bethesda and fuck the political radical weirdos in the Western gaming industry. Staining with ideological clown world bullshit that should be first and foremost an escape from it. Back to Skyrim. Lofty says, I'm like 20 hours into it and I haven't seen a single woke thing in the game. I'm confused. Dan's response was shocking, Lofty. Eventually, Dan chimes in to state that it was when you're setting up your character, you have to set pronouns, what you want to be called. He, him, she, her, they, them.
Wookie actually makes a good point. Wookie says, I don't think he hated it that bad. The problem is you don't like what I like, so I'm jumping on you. No, I get it. I'm asking my brother because he's playing the game right now, probably as we're watching this. And I've asked him multiple times, like, has anything, woke been, shown? He goes, well, like a lot of games nowadays, it doesn't, it's only for like the character creation.
And that's just more of a virtue signal than anything else. Because if the pronouns were that important, then why wouldn't every character in the game be announcing their pronouns before they talk to you?
I still see Dan's point. I think it is a little bit of a slippery slope because when you put that in there, you start to normalize and you're like, it's not that bad. I don't care. I'm going to keep playing it. And then they do something else. And it's like, well, everybody's playing this game. I want to be part of the conversation. I want to keep playing it. Do I think it's the end of the world? In this case, well, it's a character creator, and just talking about Saints Row and Saints Row 2. Well, I think even the first Saints Row, you could make literally whatever you wanted. And nobody had a problem with that. Even the clone of the man thing is like, well, you can clone somebody and omit the Y chromosomes, right? So that woman could have been an XX chromosome clone of a man. So I don't really care about that too much, but to Dan's point, I do see where things are starting to creep in, and there are people like us that are just like, it is what it is. Yeah, Professor Savage Dad says it right. He says, except for ideology, otherwise you cannot play the game. And I think just the problem, and I think what Dan's highlighting here is that he's a dissenting opinion. Why should he be attacked for having a dissenting opinion and saying like, this is a deal breaker for me? If you like the game, why are you spending your time arguing with Dan when you could be playing it?
No, that's a good point. I think civil discourse is fine, but definitely dogpiling. I mean, it's going to happen.
Like my game.
I mean, it's going to happen just because there are so many people following, and everybody will have different opinions. Oh, look who we have here. True pop culture hopped in. Likes the meme. But, I mean, it's not going to stop me from playing the game, but it's definitely going to give me reservations about it. Also, my brother has it, so I might just be like, get out the way. I want to play a little bit and just see how it is.
What are your brother's pronouns again?
I mean,
if I asked him that, he would say "fuck" and "you." That's exactly what
like me best.
I can imagine.
I mean, I've been watching Az play the game, and the game does look pretty. I mean, I got to at least state that, but I don't know. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to play it. I was going to get it on Wednesday and start streaming it, but I don't know if I'm going to yet.
I'm just excited for Spider-Man 2. I was excited for Mortal Kombat 1 until I saw the story, the first 17 minutes of the story, and I saw what villain they were bringing back, and I was like, "Fuck no, fuck no." I actually like the stories in Mortal Kombat because they're small and they're fast, and it's just it's all optional. You can play Mortal Kombat and play in arcade mode and get through the tower and get your little snippet of an ending, or you can play the story and just kind of see like what the characters are about in the little snippets. It doesn't overstay its welcome. But I hated the villain in Mortal Kombat 11, and I am so pissed to see that she's back.
Is it still just finish him, finish her?
Yes.
Okay.
Finish them.
Yeah, I don't think they've implemented that. Yeah. The theme for Mortal Kombat actually was a finish him.
So basically, it all comes down to play what you want to play, but don't harass people who dislike or enjoy the game. I think
any reason.
Respect each other's opinions on it.
But that's how it should.
Like, you can argue respectfully.
People are asking you about, you've got to call me this and that, and you should obviously have the objective right just to say, well, I just want to stay out of it. Like,
I mean, I just see it as like Dan's tweet was basically, "Hey, I got a refund on this game because this goes against my beliefs. Here it is. If this is in line with your beliefs, you may want to avoid." That's the way I read it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the way I read it as well. I don't know. Some people take too much context out of these tweets. Like, well, he said he didn't like it, so he's super angry about it. It's like people can sit there on the toilet, straight faced.
I mean, and it's only going to be in specific regions that this argument even takes place. Let's be honest. Like there's other markets they push these games in where you will not hear one sniff of any of these kind of subjects in it. But that's but it's kind of weird how we have some of the most progressive laws, and we have the most progressive laws here and whatever. Yet the people still want to.
Did he drop? Oh, he did drop a meme.
All right. What did you?
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's see what Metastep dropped here before we get into outros.
I'm gay. Oh God!
Oh, I need that. I need to add that to my soundboard.
Yeah, that's
I've been out of.
I'm gay.
Yeah.
Real quick before we hit outros, we have a $5 super chat from the irate specialist. Says, I have a meme question. At what point is it not a meme and becomes something else, like parody? I may get an actress for a video I'm working on. I think a meme is parody.
Really?
Yeah.
It's parody and satire all rolled into a small package.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think a meme itself is parody. So if you can blend the two and not view them as separate things, I think it'll definitely go well for you. But that's just my opinion. I think it all comes to the intent of the meme. I'm sorry, I'm watching this the I am gay thing on a loop right now.
It's fine, dude. It's out there now, man.
Well, now they're gonna clip that too.
Well, I mean, my face isn't.
I'm watching this I am gay thing on a loop right now.
Why? Why do you guys do this to me?
Because it's fun and easy, and slightly profitable.
Oh! Now, here we go. Wookie Be Bad dropped $20. It says shot. Oh, wrong show.
Yeah, that's from Vets Talking.
And Ballbusters.
Yeah.
Thank you for the $20. Wookie Be Bad. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. So at this point, we're cutting towards the end of time. I want to make sure everybody has their outros since we didn't do proper intros today because Mike had to head out early, so we wanted to make sure we had as much time with him as we could. So CJP, do you want to let the people know what plans you got coming on, where they can find you, how they can support you?
Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube and Rumble at Forgotten One Music, all spelled out. I've got the Forgotten One cast scheduled for this week with that 70s rock fan. We're going to be talking about prog rock. And then next week, I've got DJ Access is going to come on, and we're going to talk about digital music and video game remixes. You can also, of course, find me on Etepa Queens, the place to be reviews on Monday, Wednesdays, and tonight, Saturday, for his show. Got Saturday night's main event tonight. But other than that, I just hit 400 subs on my channel on YouTube. And so I just dropped a 400 sub special GoldenEye track. So check that out. And then just another 100 to get to monetization and about 500 watch hours. So
nice. And just so you know, everybody, CJP, do you have playlists for your music?
I do. Yeah, you can watch all the watch themes, the original GoldenEye music. And then I've got 2 original albums, one complete and one that I'm almost done writing that are on there as well. And some demos I did back when I was in college. So you can actually hear me singing and playing real instruments.
Nice. So make sure to go check out the playlists. And, if you enjoy it, just throw it on and let it run through. It helps the watch hours, and 2, it helps the channel. So let's help CJP get those hours he needs. Professor Savage Dad says for $2, no green rocks. Any hole will do.
Oh,
any storm.
I am gonna get. You guys are gonna
clip
turn
that.
me into D-Day Cobra here.
Oh, Dermy.
He's not even here, and we're still bashing him.
I think Dermy's regretting shaving on stream.
Oh yes, that face powers many a meme.
Yeah. Horny Elf, do you want to let the people know what you are planning on doing, where they can find you, how they can support you?
Yeah, man. Obviously, I'm on Twitter, but in addition to that, I've also been working on my channels. So my biggest channel right now is my YouTube channel. In the last 48 hours, I gained 50, 60 subs. I was at 96, and I just put out a tweet and say, "Hey, I'm 4 away from 100," and the next thing I know, I'm at 154. So, I've also got a Twitch, a Kick, and a Rumble page. My Rumble page, I'm 1 sub away from being able to live stream it. So if anyone wants to check that out, shoot me a sub. As far as shows, normally on Friday nights, you can catch me on Ballbusters, Dermy's channel, on Vets Talking on Saturday nights. Tonight, I will be guesting on Etepa Queen's channel. I'll probably do an hour and a half, and then jump over to Vets Talking. And then 2 hours after this, I'm going to do a Subnautica stream. So check that out. And then Sundays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I have a Star Trek show I'm a part of, Star Trek Engage, where we review classic Star Trek episodes. We're doing season 1 of the original series right now, so check it out.
Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely check out the channel. And you have playlists as well, correct?
Yes.
So make sure if you enjoyed his content, just throw up that playlist and watch previous episodes and everything like that. It will help the channel out. And let's help Horny Alf out. Kenzo, what's going on, man? You got any plans of this upcoming week, or what do you got in store for us?
Well, you can firstly follow me at Art by Kenzo on YouTube, and the same for Twitter. And I post memes on Twitter and animated content. This week I have the FNT meetup on Wednesday. Like I said before, where I'll be meeting up with a load of UK content creators and get to actually meet the FNT crew in person, which I'm really excited for. And we don't have Dermy Wormy with us this week, but I will be appearing next week, Friday night on Ballbusters. It's a very late
Awesome.
one for me, but I'm looking forward to having some shenanigans with the degenerate side of the Legion, shall we say?
Well, shenanigans aplenty.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I might not be able to watch it live, and I'll definitely go back and check it out. Extra Zero, you got any plans coming up?
Yeah, so one thing I have to add, when you say let's help out Horny Alf, it sounds like an ad for a blue pill. But yeah, my schedule goes back to normal this week, so I'll be back to memeing for side scrollers on my lunch break. So I'm chomping at the bit to get back. So it's like, every time I have to step away for life, I always come back recharged. So I'm looking forward to putting out some great content this week. I won't be on Get Ranked tomorrow. I've got, it's the holiday weekend here in the States. So, my wife and I are enjoying the holiday weekend. So I won't be there, but you can catch me on Thursday on my channel, the Figure Action Podcast. So youtube.com/Figure Action or Collectors Podcast. If you're interested in anything going on with collecting news for Transformers, unlicensed third-party figures, Black Series, Marvel Legends, Storm Collectibles, McFarlane, you name it, we cover it. We talk news and industry inside stuff. So check us out Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time over on Figure Action on YouTube. And, of course, you can find me here on Saturdays. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, mark your calendars because Friday, September 29th. I don't know why February popped into my head, but September 29th, I will be the guest on the Side Scrollers podcast. I'm so stoked about that. And I'll be there repping the Legion as producer, as the guest. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'll be watching at work. I'll be cheering.
Yeah, I'll be watching too.
So that's three of us now that'll have.
I'll be memeing on your ass.
I know. I look forward. I like getting memed.
I'll be sitting there upset at myself, being like, these wasted memes I could make. But
it's going to be a Friday, so aren't you going to be able to do it on a Friday?
Maybe, depends on how busy I am. If I'm on break, I'll definitely hop in there. I normally have a little break from when you guys start, so I might be able to hop in for a minute. Right. Professor Savage that says, "Do you know how to reserve your channel name on Rumble? Do me a favor, just DM me and you can help me out with that, because we do have a Rumble channel. I have the link in the description. If you want to go subscribe to that, I would very much appreciate it as well, because just in case YouTube
we're going to be popping over the Rumble in just a minute.
Not today. I have another show.
Okay, gotcha.
But speaking of the show, in about 2 hours, I'm dropping a link in the chat. I am going to be on with Jessica Reloaded on her Rumble channel, and we're going to go over some Reddit conversations. As we all know, Reddit is a cesspool. So
yes.
I'm just looking forward to hanging out with her. It's always a good time. So go subscribe there on Rumble as well. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, Skirmitar will come in and wreck you like he does Mazza. So that's going to be...
He's going to get me anyway, so...
I love you, Skirmitar. You're a good dude.
He's coming.
But yeah,
legend.
Yeah, fantastic. And I am the leader, creator, and founder of the Legion of Memers. Please follow our Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble. And thank you to everybody who's become a member. I hope that you find value in the membership, and I really appreciate you guys being members of this channel. I don't know what was going on with that. If you go to the tweet, you'll be able to find it. It's still up there.
I'm able to find it now. But the thing is, there's Legion of Memers and Legion of Memers Live. Look on the Legion of Memers channel; it's there. I'm going to put a link in the chat for that Rumble, the episode on Rumble, real quick, so you can subscribe to the Legion channel over on Rumble there, because we have two channels: Legion of Memers and Legion of Memers Live. So just.
God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm still figuring things out, guys. I'm not a professional. But thank you all for being here. I really look forward to hanging with you guys, especially the panel, but chat as well. I really look forward to these streams. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and we will see you guys next week, same time, same place, different memes.